Hello everyone, it's another day working in my journal. I thought I'd add my March alchemy bottle that I have drawn recently. It's not really an alchemy bottle, it's a mason jar, but hey, alchemists need live specimens sometimes, so yeah. Put some mushrooms or flowers in a mason jar until they dry out. But then I thought maybe some mischievous fairies got involved and my mason jar got opened, and things ran amok. But first, I'm going to back my mason jar because I put it just on my mixed media paper, which is not necessarily super thin, but it's not super thick either. I backed the other two, so I'm just going to go ahead and back this one as well. I didn't do a lot of painting on this one. I just did a parchment acrylic paint on it because I don't like seeing the white. I just like seeing the, like I said before, when you look through a bottle, it's not a perfectly clear image. So I'm going to cut that out, and then I'm going to start adding something I don't normally add to my journal pages. I told you before I used to paint miniatures. My favorite part of miniature painting was doing the bases, because you got to work with so many different things, different types of media. So I guess I was in junk journaling way before junk journaling. But I'm going to bring some of that mixed media that I used to use on my bases into this mason jar because I really thought it added a nice effect. If you want to see how I made this mason jar, please see the link at the end. I will link it so that you can see the crafting it as long as one other item that I did in this journal. I do enjoy drawing. It's very calming. I do not enjoy fussy cutting. Not one of my favorites. Because I don't necessarily have the steadiest of hands, so I'm always afraid when to cut into things, which I have. Matter of fact, there's an item in the journal already that has a problem on it, but it's not noticeable unless you're really looking for it. So my fussy cutting will probably not be the best, but that's what the distressed oxides are for, right? I think the high today here is 22 degrees Fahrenheit. It's pretty cold for Oklahoma. If you do like this content, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to my channel. If there's anything specifically that you'd like to see on my channel, I would like to hear from you. You can post in the comments below. Sometimes I speed up this process and sometimes I don't. I really don't know what people prefer, so I kind of just mix it up. I think I'm going for my edging, the distressed. Oh, no, no, no. I'm gonna put pen. Right now that's just pencil and paint. I'm gonna intensify the border with my pens, which I like to do. Because I do pencil originally, because I do a lot of erasing until I get it exactly how I want it, and then I can come back through with pen and define it. I think that's the .08, not, I don't know that there's a point, it's just an 08 micron archival pen. I love my archival pens because they do not bleed. And I like them because I can pick what size of point I want to use. And I'll use two different sizes on this. That's the .8, I'm sorry, the 08, and then the 005, which is the super fine one, which I'll use just on some of the minor details. You'll probably hear the pitter-patter of my little puppies come to say hi because Daddy's not home. The lines just make the image pop off the page that much more, because the color of the mason jar and the background are very similar, so I need a defining edge. So now I'm just going to come in with the 005 just for the things that you see through the glass, so the lines won't be as detailed. It's only a hint. Probably didn't need to even worry about drawing that line because it's going to be covered up here in a minute. But I think I'm getting my stamps now. These are some old stamps that I have. I will link to you where I got. I don't know where they come from. I did get them off of Amazon. If I can find them in my history, I will link them below. Most of the stamps you'll see early on here, I don't know where I got them because when I got them, I never intended on starting a channel, so I just opened up the packaging, threw the packaging away. And I just kept the packaging, so. Oh, I'm going to do the edging. I'm going to glue the mason jar down first. But I absolutely love these fairy stamps. They're just adorable. I've used them many times. So my stamps aren't the cleanest. What I normally do is stamp on a piece of paper and cut the paper out and then put that on my page because I'm always terrified of running a page. But I was brave this time and luckily it worked out for me. This is my glue that I use just for little bits. It dries really fast. So I don't use a lot of it unless it's something I need quickly, like this. I think that's my black suit. Just want to make sure there's none of the cream color showing on the edge of the bottle when I glue it down. It has been a weird winter. It's like been below freezing, like it was like for a week or more a couple of weeks ago. It's below freezing again, but there's still green on the ground, green grass on the ground, which is rare. And I hear a bunch of birds outside, so I think nature is confused right now. I'm considering putting that black suit on the background behind the bottle, and I think I go ahead and do that. Just to emphasize its focus. Oh, I'm trying to bring in other elements first. I really, really want to use that mesh. I've brought it in on just about every page looking at it, but I will find a place for it eventually because I really like it, but it's not today. It's kind of the opposite of what I normally do. I normally try to do the edging, and now I'm just want to do it in the middle. I don't even know why I'm actually doing the very center. I just needed it on the edges, but see, like that. I just wanted to hint a bit. And I realized I came in a little too dark right there at the bottom, so I think I come back in with a spray bottle to make it, I don't know, blend back together a little bit more. Before I brought the spray bottle on, I was looking to see what was on the other side, because sometimes I run pages and I just wanted to make sure what was on the other side wasn't anything I'd be sad about. But it's usually when I do inks. I'm not very smart when I use the inks. I just kind of wanted it to blend. I'm not exactly sure what that mark is. I obviously did it at some point, because it won't come off now, which means it's been there. So it's going to stay there. A little character. As much as I try to make my drawings proportional, they never work out. So let's just pretend it was intended that it was distorted, right? I even brought in a ruler for the sides, but the bottom and the top still got wonky on me. Now I bring in the stamps. See, what you can't see right there is a little fairy holding a flower, because my stamps are so dirty. But I'm going to take all these stamps off here in a second and show you what the images look like without the stamps on them, and you'll be able to see them really well. And it's just adorable. I love them. But as you can see, one of the fairies got into my jar of dried flowers, and she's taking them away. She's throwing them up to the others. As fairies tend to do. You will see me do a bunch of test prints on a piece of paper because I want to make sure that the ink is covering the entire stamp before I actually place it on in the journal. Because again, I'm paranoid when it comes to stamps. I think I'm looking for my baby wipes because sometimes wetting the back of the stamp and then drying it off, I don't know, I guess some moisture stays behind and it helps the ink pull since that stamp pad is so dry. What I should be doing this weekend is going to get some ink refills for that stamp pad, but it's too cold, so I'm not doing that. And this is the it's basing material that I use for miniatures. It's overpriced, but it's for basing miniatures, and that's so it was made for a specific art thing. But I really love the look of it. There's a winter one that I really wanted to put in the journal, where they're dried. It's more of earth tones rather than the green. But I couldn't find it, so you get the pretty green instead. Thought the browner color would have been more appropriate for my winter journal, but you make do with what you got, right? Seeing as you can see with the sample prints, you can see why I'm paranoid. They don't always work out. Part of it's the ink, part of it's just me. I need to remember to press down really, really hard, and that's how the stamp will come out. So you see me pressing down pretty hard on that one, and see it came out pretty well. So I think I'm ready to be brave. Yep. And ta-da! I was so happy when that came out well, nice. Because I could put stuff on the fairies on the outside, but I could not. I guess I could have made it work, but she looks quite cute in there. Just testing the next one that I'm going to put down. And her little body is not wanting to print. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with that. There we go. So I think as long as I do this process, I'll be able to be more brave and put things directly in my journal. Normally what I do is I just grab the stamp and the ink pad, press it down, and then put it in my journal, and then you get sloppy messes, and I get very sad. But a little patience proves worth it. Normally what I do with those little flying fairies is have them hold some string or something. But I couldn't figure out why they would have string in this image, so I didn't do that. So I'm just going to cover that entire bottom of the mason jar with glue and just press things down and see how well they stick. I've never used this type of glue with the spacey material. So I'm just going to press it down, just make it stick however I can, and then I'll come back in and trim off the edges that fall outside of the mason jar. So they may look like they're sticking, but not all of it is. I will come back in and touch it up with the precision glue. Here I'm just trimming the edges because the grass shouldn't be able to come outside of the mason jar, so let's fix that problem. I'm noticing that my stamping block got on the mason jar, but nothing I can do about it now, so it just adds character now. Seeing if I can add another fairy. I really don't think I need one. There's 3 there. I like odd numbers. I was just trying to see if I could find something to hide that, but I'm just going to leave it. So I hope you enjoyed the Fairies Make Chaos of my room. As they do every day. Certainly isn't me. I don't make the mess. Right? But I will, since I was this brave with stamps, I do come back in on my next episode, and I'm going to put a little more stamping in my journal. But for now, that is all. Just doing the final touches. I think I decided to ink up the rest of the pages, at least for January. Some of my pages you'll notice are smaller than the others. It's because those were my jelly print pages. And I just decided to cut the borders off that the jelly print didn't pick up, and it was just white. So instead of leaving them there, I thought I'd see what I liked about having different size pages in my journal. And I kind of like it.